welcome everyone to week 15 of Haibo Does Data, SmashUp's metrics review. As always, I'm here with my co-host Owen. Owen, how's it going?
It's great. It's nice to just be the two of us again. It was wonderful to have Chris last week, but third wheel, I just felt that vibe, especially on his dial-up internet connection.
Yeah, sometimes, sometimes it's better with just two.
That's right, sometimes. How have
I
you been?
know, pretty good, pretty
Good.
good. Yeah, good to see the Eagles kind of, getting back into a groove. A pretty insane, was it 10.5 minute drive to end the game.
Yeah.
Um, that was nuts.
Good. It was a good battle, good battle of Pennsylvania. But
Mhm.
but it felt like they just controlled it the whole time. I mean, yeah. Well,
And we have round two this week of Commanders Eagles.
you know what? Let me get into my five things because
All
you've now
right.
hit on two of them just out of the gate, not knowing what I'm going to talk about. But yes, okay. So five things. Number one, I'm gonna start with the Bills, but as Chris ridiculed me last week as a cop out, I'm gonna go a little deeper this week. So 48-42, what a game. Didn't disappoint, whether it's a Super Bowl preview or not, who knows? But Goff 494 yards, five touchdown. Allen accounts for four touchdowns. I mean, it was just a shootout. So number two, I thought this was kind of fun. It was a reverse run CMC almost. Jahmyr Gibbs catches 83 yards, but comes up 9 yards short with 31 rushing. So
Oh
kind of funny for
wow.
that reverse run CMC almost. Now he got two touchdowns still, so happy fantasy owners. Number three, the Commanders almost blow a fourth quarter lead. They had that issue against the Eagles. Let's hope they don't do it again this time. Maybe they hold on, but uh, you know, good teams find a way to win. Bad teams kind of find a way to lose in the fourth quarter. So let's hope Washington can get over that. Eagles extend their win streak to 10, while the Raiders extend their losing streak to 10. So both league best, but one obviously feels a lot better. And then finally, we're getting into like kind of a fun or not fun part of the season where is my player going to rest or not, right? We've got some playoff teams. Eagles, Lions, and Vikings have all clinched spots, and then they still have the division and home field to play for. So I don't think we're going to quite be there yet. But then in the AFC, you've got the Bills, Chiefs, and Texans. They've locked up the division. Steelers have the wild card locked up. But again, these last 3 weeks, it's going to be that fun thing of like, is Henry going to play in the fourth quarter? Things like that we were talking about for the Giants this week. But I'm excited. Let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be. And I know, earlier on, you were very big on rookie quarterbacks, and it looks like we're gonna get Penix
Yeah.
into the mix now.
I'll tell you what, Haibo, like, I mean, Cousins, it is, I think everyone in the offseason was like, what is Atlanta doing? And now, I mean, he's had a couple great games, but I don't know. I think Penix is going to be, I don't know. He won't be Jaden or Bo Nix out of the gate, but he's going to be all right.
Yeah, it'll be good to see. But that's it, right? That's basically
Yeah.
all the
I
rookie
think,
QBs.
yep. Yeah. And I
Um,
mean, you've even had like Spencer Rattler, right? Like kind of the lower guy. I mean, it's been a year of a lot of rookie quarterbacks have seen the field.
mhm.
I'd like to have seen a
Um,
little more Hendon Hooker behind Goff, but Goff is just so dominant right now.
Speaking of golf, I saw a funny tweet online that was like, Goff threw five touchdowns with no interceptions. He threw five interceptions, and he was 1-1 in those games. But it's not the ones that you
Yeah, that's
think. It's like, yeah, if you win a five interception game, you should probably lose a five touchdown
yeah. I
game.
think I think that's karma coming back.
And I mean, the NFC, that battle for that number one seed. I mean, with the new format, that bye is just it's so crucial. And
Mhm.
Vikings play the Lions, right? So like one of them is going to lose. Green Bay is nipping on the tail. Like it's possible for one of those teams to fall, I think, to fifth.
Yeah.
Um, if they don't watch out. So it's this weird. I think all three teams go all the way through week 18. Like,
Yeah, you're right. This could be a season where we don't have a whole lot of the resting of the players, which is that going to come? Are we going to see more injuries in the playoffs, right? I mean, it's an interesting kind of dynamic with the way the season schedule is kind of unfolded.
mhm. Yep.
I just
Um,
we just need Washington to win this week. We got to keep the pressure on these other teams to keep playing. So let's not
yeah.
make it to 11 wins there, Philadelphia.
We will see how that goes. We'll
I
see how
don't
that
feel good
goes.
about it. I don't feel good about it. Just know that.
All right. Well, let's uh jump into the stats. Just all right. So week 15, most played players. Um, again, pretty standard. I was surprised. I was surprised to see Jordan Addison up there. To be honest, as the number two picked receiver, I was a little surprised he was high as he was, but
Yeah,
um,
I'm guessing and maybe you'll cover it later, but I bet there must have been some, well, yeah, we see Darnold, so there were some game stacks, some ride or die, where you kind of got both of those receivers in there. But yeah, it is odd to see him beat out Amon-Ra and Justin for the number two spot.
he did
Boy,
have a
looking at those running
ridiculous.
backs, there's a lot of disappointment right there.
Oh yeah, it was not a good week for running
It was
backs.
not a good running back week.
Um, Addison, speaking of Addison, he did have a really great game the week before, right? I think he had like
He
a
did. Yeah.
two touchdown,
Yeah.
140,
Some
150-yard game.
sounds right. Yeah, I know he had the two touchdowns. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, he had
He's
a decent
hit or
game.
miss. Yeah.
Yeah. Cards, again, nothing too crazy. More or less the same things we're seeing. Ride or die, hellacious halfbacks. Just missing the cut at number 11 is home field advantage.
Okay.
And we're going to see actually a lot of that a little bit later.
Okay.
Um, in terms of the combos, talk about
Yeah.
a lot of disappointment in the
Man.
yeah. Josh Allen and Mr. Relevant hits. Josh Allen is just ridiculous, just absolutely ridiculous.
He's caught fire. There is no doubt about it.
But after that, I mean, Henry had a poor game. I mean, they dominated, so but like a poor game by his standards. Jamar Chase did not have a great game. Saquon did not have a great. Again,
Yeah.
we say not a great game. The teams all did really well, but
Yeah. Needed a little more V for victory in there.
hmm but yeah, no, outside of that, Mr. Relevant here, really not that many hits in the top 10.
I think it's funny here. So again, we talked about it, and I know it's not a correlation because you need 50 yards from your quarterback and 40 from your receiver on Speed Demon. But to see 98 people played Chase at Speed Demon and then to not even see Burrow clock in at over 60, 65 is surprising to me.
Yeah, that I
With Hail Mary, of course. Yeah, with Hail Mary.
I am really surprised that we are not seeing more of that Hail Mary speed demon,
Yeah.
especially with Chase. Like, you
Well,
know,
that was the card combo at the beginning of the year, right? I mean, I know there were a lot of the
mhm.
defensive stacks, but then it was like the Speed Demon, Hail Mary, and Freight Train. We were seeing people with 90 points like for the first 3 weeks.
Yeah. And even if you take out Freight Train, like that, the correlation, as you said, between Speed Demon and Hail Mary, it's just so
Yeah.
high
Yep.
that, you know, you're absolutely right. I'm surprised to not see as many. If we look at the top 50, so again, these are the top scoring 50 lineups last week. Oh boy, uh,
Mhm.
is this one, two, three,
It's
four,
gonna be
five,
another,
seven?
yeah, another Lions stack.
Seven of the top nine. And again, with that ride or die and home field advantage combo. Um, for our listeners, there have been some slight pricing adjustments in light of this. We have seen, quite a bit of this. Nothing too crazy, but both ride or die and home field advantage are going up by about 500. So ride or die is going from 3,000 to 35. Home field advantage is going from 6,000 to 65. So certainly you can certainly still stack them, but it makes that third card a little bit weaker. The other big pricing adjustment is V for Victory. V for Victory is going from 35 to 45.
Okay,
Um,
wow.
so this week, I mean, potentially we're seeing another Lions stack. They're up against the Bears. The
Yeah.
Bears are probably going to get obliterated.
Yeah.
Um, they are on the road though, so V for Victory would be a good substitute for home field advantage if you wanted to
Yep.
play if you want to play the Lions
Nope.
stack.
That's a good one. And I mean, I think the way we'll see it is like you might not see it as much in the weeklies, but you're going to see it in a campaign where people have racked up all that card money. I,
Hmm.
I just I'm having I'm terrible and I'm still not even to roulette yet, but it's really fun to it's fun to see the combinations you can come up with all that money and then still have a bad score.
It's it's just the way fantasy falls sometimes.
It's a good reminder that like, yeah, the cards are power-ups, but you got to pick the right players. At the heart of the game, you've still got to make good selections, whether it's Jameis Winston's going to throw a bunch of turnovers or you're picking the guy that's going to, break a 40-yard run. So I mean, I don't know. I love it.
By the way, I am super sad that
Yeah.
the era of Jameis Winston is over.
Yeah. Yeah. It was quite
The
the ride. It was a fun stack to play for what, 3 weeks?
It was the whatever card you want, throw it
Yeah.
on Jameis and he will make
Yep.
it work.
Yep. Anything. He worked
Anything.
for Cannon Arm, anything you could put on Goldfish, but all of them worked.
Yeah. Good things, bad things, it doesn't
Yep.
matter.
Yeah, he checked all the boxes.
Yep. So sad to see that the Browns are switching quarterbacks. I part of it, I'm sure, he gives them legitimately a chance to win, and the Browns don't want to win. What are there, what, three in something? Maybe they're
No,
more than that.
I think that maybe I'm getting them and the Bengals confused, their records. One of them's like 3-10. It's probably the Browns.
Yeah. I think the Browns are like they're in a top five pick right now, and I think they probably want to keep it that way. Um, so yeah, definitely, dominant Lions plays last week. Um, on to the campaigns. Um, the even number bot like so it's pretty interesting. Like newbie, 70% pass. Only 19 played Deadeye, but only one person beat Deadeye. So Deadeye more or less ran the table last week. Yeah, most people beat Smash Mouth, but West Coast, again, only 30%. And then with Roulette, we had about 80% pass. And then Hoodie, back in the 30s as well. So your, 2, 4, and 6 bosses did pretty well. And the 1, 3, and 5s,
Yeah.
had some passes there. But um,
Roulette is going to be tough this week. I can tell you that. I got a good feeling.
it's good. Yeah. And I think you mentioned last week, you're like, let's look at how the bosses did against each other. So, um, interestingly enough, Deadeye had the highest scoring lineup
Wow.
with basically, I mean, the power up is it's the Hall of Fame kicker card, right?
Yeah.
Like it's really not that strong of a card. Like Deadeye just picked a really great lineup. Um,
Man. All right. Well, good. At least roulette wasn't dead last.
I mean, when we talk about like a rough week, I'm sure Smash Mouth went like Saquon, Henry, and
Yeah.
just didn't, you know, just didn't hit this week.
Nope.
But yeah, we'll see how this goes next week. So, um, so I wanted to kind of end today with a couple of new announcements. Um, we have quite a bit. Do you mind, Owen, if I just do a very quick like product release type of thing?
No, no, this is great. I love hearing this stuff.
So we had a big product release. Yeah, let me get out of this. We had a big product release this week, so I wanted to share just a couple things for our viewers in terms of new things that are out. The first is this, the NFL dashboard. So now, and we've been getting, especially if you're playing campaign and you're playing weekly and you have leagues going and you have all these different lineups, it can be a little challenging managing all of those different teams. So now you have all your lineups in one place. So if we go back to last week, I guess we set our kind of 1 week. Oh man, our weekly lineup did not do well last week.
Well, I think people got hurt. I want to say like Njoku didn't play, and we probably had, yeah, that's not
Yeah,
the only reason, but yeah, Njoku didn't play, and then Hopkins, yeah.
yeah. Um, but it shows that you can basically, you can see all your lineups. So yeah, if you have, for Fantasy Frenzy, if you're playing, Beginner Battle, if you're playing our new tournament, Mud Bowl, which we're going to talk about, you can see everything in one spot. And it's a good way to kind of manage your teams and kind of manage all of your different um, all of your different lineups in one place. So definitely check it out, NFL dashboard. The second thing is Smash cards. We have in the past, Smash cards was literally just like the list of cards. We've updated this a little bit, so you have a nice new grid format now. And we always get questions about Smash cards. So there's now a whole tutorial around the different types of cards, and then card scoring. So we have quite a few examples of how you score different cards. So for example, like we run through some examples of how you score like Goldfish Memory, Human Vulture, and it gives folks some kind of more information around. So if you've ever wondered like how card points are calculated, this is a good resource to have.
That's great.
Other thing is we're coming up on the holiday season, and so just like with Halloween, we have a new set of alt art. So keep an eye out for that. Um, Taylor. Taylor's
Uh-huh.
been replaced here with the Grinch. You see Big Kick Energy has the stocking. So we have some we yeah we have some Catching Fire with the menorah here.
Are
Um,
these live this week or they start next week? When are
no, they
the
they are live. So
holiday cards are live? Awesome.
yep. So it's cosmetic, right?
Yeah.
There's no change, but they're
Okay.
cool. And I think next week, just like for Halloween, where we ran a special tournament to see who scores the highest with the cards, we may do something similar next week with the holiday cards. But for this week, they are live. The pictures are up, so check them out. There are a few good ones that really like Necessary Roughness. This is a gingerbread man getting stabbed by a candy cane. So
That's
um,
good.
definitely some cool ones there. And now we're going to talk about the two big things that
Oh, I
are
see
new.
one of them right there, and there it is. Yep.
There it is. So fine,
$500 card, finally.
finally, yep. New card out, $500. Every $100 of remaining player salary adds zero point 0.2 points up to a maximum of 10. So what that means, basically you can think of it as every $1,000 of is that right? Yeah. Every
Yeah.
$1,000 is 2 points on this card for this budget. So,
I think
when
it's
we
great, right? It's not necessarily like you're gonna, but I mean, here I could see some scenarios where you do just now because of this card say I'm going to take a guaranteed 10 points and leave 5,000 on the table. But when you don't play a tight end or you're doing some stacks or getting creative, this can be a pretty interesting way to just say, all right, I'm going to punt my tight end, right? And I'm going to
Mhm.
take 10 points from this instead of playing that. I like this.
Yeah, originally when I
Huh.
when we were first creating this card, it was uncapped with the idea that like if you just pick no players at all, it would be 100 points basically. So 50,000 translates into 100 points, and it's like If you just pick zero players at all, you get 100 points. The problem was, I think it could be abused in some ridiculous ways. Like,
Yeah.
imagine like just Jameis, all your cards on quarterback, and then like 95 remaining points on Capologist. And if Jameis has one of his crazy weeks, like, you know, that's
Yeah. I think that'd be a fun thing to try maybe during the playoffs is you uncap something like that and see let people get creative. I think that's kind of a fun approach.
yeah, there I feel like there are some crazy things you can do if we left it uncapped.
Yeah, think about what you just said, Haibo, is like you take the Jameis scenario, but you play the defense against him. So you've
Mhm.
got like takeaway car, bobblehead. So you maybe play two things and then you rack up 90 points or something on that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean there's some massive things.
yeah.
Or even like the
Um,
Josh Allen goes off game where he scored like 130 points if you put Hall of Fame on him.
yeah. And add another 90 on top of that, and like,
Yeah.
that's gonna win you the week right there. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
um, that's a yeah, maybe we'll play around with an uncapped version of this card.
I could
So
see it being a lot of fun. I don't know if it's abused as it just gives you more ways to get creative with the game.
yeah, yeah. As it is, it's 500 bucks. If you
Yep.
have 500 left over, you can get a couple points. And a lot of the scores are so close, like those 3 or 4 points could
Yeah.
be the difference, right?
And how
Between,
many times have people left 500 or even 1,000 on the table? Now it's like, no, put this on there. It doesn't hurt me.
yeah,
I love it.
yep. Um, so this next card is one that I think is metagame shifting. I think this card is going to shift a lot of what we
I
see.
was about to say it's got to be about the receivers and tight ends. Yep, great. This is
Aerial supremacy.
yep.
So 1.75 to all receivers and tight ends, and your running backs get basically 75% boost to running backs and tight ends, 75% penalty to running backs. Um, this card, I tested it this past week, and it is nuts. It is a ridiculous card. I basically I played Josh Allen, and that in itself is kind of ridiculous. But like I played Josh Allen, I played uh Amon-Ra, Jefferson, and Chase.
Jeez.
Brock Bowers at tight end. Granted, Bowers didn't have a great
He didn't do
game.
much, yeah.
But you basically load up. I went empty running back on one and Kenneth Gainwell in the other. So basically, like this is the zero running back smash
Hmm.
card equivalent. Like just go all in on your receivers. And even with like Jefferson didn't have a great game. Bowers didn't have a great game. Even still, this card was nuts.
Love
Um,
it.
I think this is going to make receiver slash tight ends playable.
Yeah.
There's so much support for running backs. I think
Yep.
this is gonna and it's not that expensive. It's 5,000. So
Just, I don't even know if you can do this, not to put you on the spot.
mhm.
What would happen if you played this and hellacious halfbacks together? Like, how do the points work? Like, are you getting then benefits from, I don't know, like, is that even a viable way to play it?
So none of the cards stack on each other.
Yep.
So the two of them would be scored separately. The problem is for hellacious halfbacks to work, you need good running backs. And
Yep.
good running backs really hurt this card. Like this card, any points coming in from that's why I actually recommend just like leaving running backs blank or taking really bad running backs or like hit or miss running backs and doing like a roll of the dice or I don't know if there are running backs that punt return, but
There
maybe
are
special.
like, there are like Black Shear is one for the Panthers that's a running back that you could do the special teams ace on.
Yeah, I would basically do that and
Yep.
like because any points coming from running back scores, even having a good running back really hurts this card.
Okay.
So you could do it, but it's not going to work out that well.
Okay. Nope, that's good.
Um,
Yeah, and that's a great strategy. So you either leave it blank or you go ahead and just drop in something like you said, roll of the dice or special teams ace to kind of, hey, they don't score anything on their regular running back, but they do get some card points for other.
yes.
Yep. Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a great strategy.
And Kenneth Gainwell, I mean, Gainwell's Saquon's backup. You're like, there's no way he's going to get 30 snaps, which is half the game with Saquon. He got
Yep.
31.
Oh my gosh.
It it was yeah, but yeah, I'm very excited to see this card in action. So
Great, great, great,
we
great.
will see. And then the last thing, which I thought, it's a Wednesday, so maybe we can set a lineup together. We have a brand new type of card. So far, our Smash cards, there are two of them. There are player cards, right, which you play on the players, and then there are these lineup cards. We now have our third type of card, which is called a field card. And a field card is basically this is called Mud Bowl. It works like a lineup card, so it impacts your entire lineup, but you don't have to pay for it. It's zero, but you also can't remove it. It's just, it's there. So basically, the idea is imagine you're playing a game on a certain field, and this card impacts every lineup that is in that tournament. And
Yeah.
so this week, we have a special tournament in our weekly. Um, so we have our regular Fantasy Frenzy, right? We have our beginner battle, but we have this special tournament called Mud Bowl where every lineup, so like if we create a lineup, every lineup automatically gets Mud Bowl applied.
So
And
pick the right defense and kicker.
yep,
That's going to set you apart. That's amazing. This is a really fun concept because everyone gets the negative of it, right?
yep,
Everyone's taking that hit.
yep.
Okay.
And you cannot remove it, right? So it's the
Yep.
same conditions for everybody. The other thing is we removed all the other kicker and defense cards. So this is
Yeah.
not a like you can't just stack everything on the defense and like, hope that carries you. So pick the right defense and kicker. Everything else, we'll kind of see how this works.
Great.
So
And we're eligible to win, right?
uh I don't
Again,
know.
always the
I don't
bad news,
know.
Haibo.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's
So
see. Let's set one. I like it.
so defense and kicker. I mean, we go here.
Yeah, that's where you've got to start with this. I mean, so you could, if we're talking about a mobile, Raiders, Jaguars. I mean, I don't know. Like, they're just, can either of them stop each other? That doesn't. I don't even know if you just two bad teams.
I mean,
Cardinals, Panthers,
Buffalo, New England,
Falcons,
or
Giants. Yeah, maybe
Detroit,
Buffalo.
Chicago. I
Man, I'd
feel
probably
bad.
lean Buffalo, I guess.
Yeah, the issue
I
is
don't.
like neither Buffalo or Detroit have great defenses,
I know.
right? Yeah, I don't
What
know.
about Cincinnati, right? Jameis is out. Yeah, I think it's Robinson's in. Like maybe, maybe he's not a
Yeah.
rookie, but young. Maybe we go Cincinnati. They had a pick six last week. They kind of get after it.
Okay. Yeah, let's do the Bengals. And then on the kickers, um,
Your call here. I'd go getting into the weather season. My head always goes. I'd probably go Aubrey, right? Go with a dome kicker or good conditions.
yeah.
Kind of always my philosophy.
Yeah, let's go with Aubrey. I so we get our projections right from our data provider. I'm always like Zane is the top projected kicker for this week.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
maybe, I guess, but
I
I
probably
don't know
would.
how they do some of these projections, to be honest.
Well, I
Um,
like that we're already projected at 48 points.
yeah, yeah. 32 coming from Mud Bowl. So, um, granted, we only have the upside so far. So as we add players, that's going
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
down. But you want to try the 2 minute drill?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So basically, take your pick. Like, who do we got?
Man, Terry has been on fire. I was like, do we
Yeah.
go like an AJ Brown, Terry, and then either Jefferson or Chase?
I would go Chase. Yeah, we
Okay.
can go Terry, AJ Brown, and Chase. And then at tight end, Bowers, McBride's been doing well. Jonu's doing
Yeah.
well.
I mean, we've got money, right? Because we're barely going to spend anything. What about Kittle? He's kind of feels like he's due.
Yeah, yeah, let's go with Kittle. Let's go with Kittle. So we and then yeah, we're definitely gonna just throw that 2 minute drill on there. Um, which is going to be it's already projected at 33. And that's with these projections. Like I could easily see any of them going into, 20, 30 points.
Yeah.
Um, so let's go with QB. Um, we basically have our pick of QB as well.
Does Josh Allen do it for a third week in a row?
Against New England, I mean,
I think the only thing that hurts him is if he gets pulled, but he'll have done enough damage that I think we do it.
all right. And then at running back, I like the who did you say was the kick returner?
Raheem Blackshear for
Sheer.
Carolina. I just can't remember if he was hurt or not, but we
He's
can stick him
probable.
in there. He says probable? Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
throw.
He was not active last week, but he's probable for this week.
Okay. Yeah, let's put him in. In worst case, if he doesn't play, okay, it doesn't, whatever. And then we
Yeah.
can leave that one blank. So we'll throw special teams ace on him.
Yep.
And this will give us a
Um,
little bit of money left over for capologists too.
yeah. So yeah, we could throw capologists on there. And then we still got 5,000 to go. So
Man,
we
stick it on Allen. Let's just
so for Allen, we can do so let's see, what do we have at QB?
I how much do we have left? 5,000?
Yeah. So we have on QB, we have
Mr. Relevant, yeah. Or
er,
starting QB. I always feel like Mr. Relevant's a better, I mean, it's more risk, but like when you think about that half X, in order to get 30 points,
yeah.
you had to have a real monster day.
Yeah, let's do it. And then let's see. So we could
Well, hey,
human
Blackshear
vulture.
comes in, right? Blackshear's, gets a rushing touchdown.
All right.
He's not doing anything else.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. This is the team. This is the
Look
team
at our
for
projected points.
175.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Like I've not, I mean, that's a good projection. A lot of times when I'm playing around, I end up with like 140 projected. I
This
like
will
it.
be this will be we actually have points already
Yeah, that's
because
amazing.
of Moneyball Capologists.
Yeah,
That's
look at
it,
that.
you have that already, but yeah, this is I'm curious to see like yeah how this goes, and we will see.
Awesome. I'm set 1-2. I'll be in there. I'll be in this one.
All right. So lots of new things happening, but yeah, pretty exciting week. Next week, by the way, uh a potential 5 or 6 new cards coming out potentially.
I'm going to make a
So
prediction. One of them is going to be at least $1,000. We need another $1,000.
oh, I think they're all 2,500 or under.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
we're gonna have a lot more options. There's gonna be a couple more $500 cards. I think
Love
there's
it.
1,000, there's a 1,500. Like, yeah, this is bolstering the lower end. So yeah, we
Love it.
will talk a lot more about, those potential new cards next week.
Yeah. Hey, and just so everyone knows, for those that celebrate, have a great Christmas next week. Haibo and I will probably be a little later in the week. So I
Mhm.
think there are some Christmas Day games. So the week will start, right? Early next week.
Yes.
Wednesday. I mean, there's two games on Christmas Day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the week will be underway by the time we're probably able to chat. And I know there's that weird Tuesday and there's no lings, and then Wednesday's going to hit and it's going to be like, all right, you got two games. Get your line.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. It will be a be a big week next week.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right. Well, Owen, yeah, if I don't talk to you before, have a great Christmas as well. And yeah, to everyone, hope you all have a wonderful holidays. And yeah, good luck on your teams this week.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. See you, Haibo.
All right. Bye.